What's going on, guys? This is KNasty3890 here, and welcome back to another Madden 17 Ultimate Team video. We're doing something a little different today. We're actually going to be doing a underrated card series. I'm going to start up a new series. It's cards that are underrated, undervalued, really. So they may not have to be a certain price, but I just think, and others in the community that I know I've talked to, have just thought that these cards are way too cheap, or they are a great price to put on your team for specific situations, or just to have in your starting lineup. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you're already a sub and you want to see more of these, or if you're new and you want to see more of these, make sure to drop that like button. The more likes, I know that you guys want to see more of this in the future. So, today we're going to be doing defensive backs. I want to start on defense because I feel like that's the hardest thing for people to do is have a good D. And I think passing is always tough, so let's do some defensive backs cards. So, I'm going to give you guys some cards. I'm going to show you guys some cards. I'll show you, compare them to some other cards that are really good in the game that I think go for a fraction of the price and still get the job done. So first we're going to do a free safety. And this is a card I've used several times. I'm not using it right now because I am trying out a new free safety in the Team of the Year Devin McCourty, but it's Campus Hero Eric Reid. Now the 85 Eric Reid that you could do from, which you can't see in the auction house, but you could do from Heroes back in I think it was August and September. That card's a beast. And then this Eric Reid's a beast as well. As you can see, he's going for 90,000 coins. So he's a 90 overall, which isn't that high, but he has two really good chems. Or one really good chem, one solid chem. Field General I like a lot because Tier 2 gives you +1 to speed. And he's got big hitter. So he ends up having 91 speed and 95 hit power if you max him out. That's really good. Now he has 88 zone, which isn't great, but that's not bad. Man, you don't want to put your free safety in man most of the time. But with that speed and hit power combo, it's not bad. He has 78 catching, so he's going to catch those jump balls. Now, if you remember that combo of let's just say 91 speed, 95 hit power once you max those out, let's take a look at Sean Taylor. We'll look at I think he's a 94 Sean Taylor, who I've used Sean Taylor. And I'll tell you guys right now, I've used Sean Taylor, I've used Brian Dawkins, and I've used Eric Reid. And you want me to tell you the difference between those cards? I barely noticed a difference. So right now, if you want to buy Sean Taylor for a free safety, that's $300K. If you want to buy the limited time to get, and that's the same chemistries, by the way, big hitter, field runner, exact same chemistries as the Eric Reid. Now, if you see, he has a +2 to speed and +2 to hit power, so those are nice. Zone's exactly the same, and his catching was 78, same. So the only thing that Sean Taylor has above the Eric Reid is +2 to speed and +2 to hit power. That's a big deal. Trust me, +2 speed, +2 hit power is a big deal. Is it 200,000 coins more of a big deal? As you just saw it sell right there for 295,000 coins. Or do you want to buy the limited time, which has Field Journal ×2 if you really need that Field Journal chemistry? Is it worth that much more? I personally didn't really see it. So if you're looking for a guy as your free safety who has big hitter and Field General, I would say get yourself an Eric Reid. That card's very, very solid. Next, we're going to go to strong safety. And it's a card that I'm using right now is Johnathan Cyprien. Now, if you want to take a look at some other cards at strong safety, we can definitely do that. There are some really good ones, but they're really, really expensive. And so I'm thinking, if you're looking for a card that doesn't go for too much, this is a good option for you. And I'm trying him out. I got him in one of my trade day videos. And he has really good chems. He has a ×3 chemistry. As we're gonna go look at 95 and 99s. So if you wanted to break the bank on a strong safety, I mean you could get the Bob Sanders as a Super Bowl pass, which is really good if you max it out in big hitter ×2. Cam Chancellor, which is Seattle, not great. If you keep going down, the new Paul Krause, the Ultimate Legend, that's a really good card. How he doesn't really lay the boom. And then you got Laura Malloy, who looks like a stud with those chemistries as a big hitter and the Field Journal plus Super Bowl pass. But if we're going to compare some of these cards, let's compare the Bob Sanders to this Johnathan Cyprien. Now, Cyprien has 3 chemistries, technically. He has Field Journal and then Tackle Machine ×2. That's actually 3. So he has 90 speed, which isn't the greatest. He has 84 hit power. This is the one thing I don't like about his card is his lack of hit power. I like strong safeties to lay the boom because I do always like to have him up on the line. But he does stuff relatively well. Now this is more anecdotal evidence, but he makes plays for me. He doesn't make plays with the hit stick, but he catches a lot of tight balls, one-on-one balls. He wins them. He has okay height at 6 feet. I mean, compared to Bob Sanders, everyone's taller. Now, this Cam Chancellor right here has better height, and he has really good hit power. This Cam Chancellor did not make plays for me. I've used him for like 15 games, and I think he forced 1 turnover. Like I said, it's anecdotal evidence, but this Cyprien is also really cheap for how much those cards are going for. Like, if you want to spend like 70K, which I think is what he goes for, I'll double check, but I think he goes for like 70, 80K. With those 3 chemistries, he's 60K now. I mean, a 60K strong safety that's 93 overall, and then has 3 spots for chemistry with field general and tactical machine times 2. I don't think you can do much better than that. 60K for that card, it's really tough. I mean, that's 100 to 200K cheaper. If you're rocking a little bit of a budget or undervalued, not a bad option right there. So now we're going to go to corners. And first off, we're going to do is a card that is like sneaky good, that you may not notice it, but is so good. And I kind of want to pick this card back up if only he had better chemistries. And it's Ghost Jalen Ramsey. Now, this card has some really great attributes. Now, he does not, I don't think he has a milestone card. He goes for about 100K. So let's look at one that will not get bought during the video. He has Lockdown, which is really good chemistry, and he has the Winter Freeze chemistry, which is useless. Unless you somehow still have a lot of Winter Freeze players. If you do, that helps. He has 93 speed, 89 man, 89 zone. Kind of wish that zone was a little higher. He has 72 catching, which isn't great, but it's good enough. 92 press, which is good, but this is where his value is so good. If we keep scrolling down, he's going to have 71 block shed, which is really good. And then all the way down here, 90 hit power. 90. It's really hard to find a corner with that hit power. I think I have one close with this Mel Blunt. If we compare hit power, 89 with this 92 Mel Blunt, which I have, which is like very close to the same card. I mean, except it's 3 speed slower, but it has better man. And then, like I said, almost the same hit power. Same chemistry and lockdown. But for 100K, and if you want to put him like in the slot, and if you're worried about people running on you, like doing like an inside zone or something like that on you, well, he's going to blow those plays up because he's going to be in the slot. And with that block shed and that hit power, he will also then force fumbles. Card, I've only used him in the slot. Never used him outside. But he has 93 speed, so you probably could. He made so many good plays for me. Now, I'm not using him because I'm using other cards that really help with chemistries. Now we're going to go take a look at a card that I've used for a while, which was really good, but then I found other cards that do just as well for me who are a fraction of the price. Now, if you guys have any other cards that you think I should talk about in this series, let me know if I miss any of the defensive backs that you think are really good, or what position you guys want me to do next. I'll gladly do that. But this Milestone Champ Bailey, so I want the one that's Milestone because it's pick specialist and lockdown. I personally only run corners with those 2 chemistries. That's why I'm not using Jalen Ramsey. But as you can see, pick specialist, lockdown, you max those out. It's a great chemistry. I believe you do get I don't think you get a +1 speed. I think you do get a +1 speed. Could be wrong, but I think you do. But as you can see, I got Malcolm Butler, Deion Sanders, and my third is Malcolm Jenkins. And this is the card that I want to talk about next. Malcolm Jenkins is so good. For one, just like the Air Creed, he's a campus hero, so they use their campus number. So I think Malcolm Jenkins is number 2, which is really cool to see, like a defensive back wearing number 2. Now, his speed's not great, 89. So I use him in the slot, and I feel like he doesn't get beat that much. His man defense is atrocious, 84. I mostly run zone, so that doesn't really affect me too much. You see, this Champ Bailey has 94 man, but if you run mostly zone like I do, their zone's exactly the same. Now, his catching's only 72. Don't let that fool you. The guy makes plays, guys. I swear by this Malcolm Jenkins. I sold him and then bought him back and sold him and bought him back. I keep doing it. I can't help myself. Now, he doesn't have amazing hit power. Where is it down here? At the bottom. It's at 80. Not bad. I mean, it's definitely better than Champ Bailey. It's not like Jalen Ramsey or Mel Blunt hit power, but it's a very good card. And with those chemistries, I think he gets like a 93 or a 94. I can check in a second. But like I said, if you run mostly zone, he has the same zone as Champ Bailey, and he goes for under 100K. And this Champ Bailey goes for over 300K. So I'll double check his price right now, but that is a 200K savings right there. If you run mostly zone, now if you run mostly man, I would definitely say don't pick up this Malcolm Jenkins. He goes for 125K, so it's still almost a 200K savings. Now, the last card I'm going to look at, I do want to just check to see what his overall is, but the last card I have, and he's a guy who I would not recommend as a number 1, 2, or 3 corner, but if you want to run like a 4th or a 5th corner with this guy, or you're rocking a big time budget squad, as Malcolm Jenkins is a 94 right here. Cyprien's a 95, and he's maxed out if you're curious what he's maxed out at. So you can get a 95 strong safety for 60K, which is just a great deal in my opinion. But the last card we're going to look at, dirt cheap. I have him as my number 5th corner, but I would recommend, guys, unless you're maybe rocking a big time budget squad, then have him as your a top 3, but keep him on your team for just like if you want to play a quarters defense or to sub him in, is Joe Haden. The Joe Haden you could have got on day 1 from the gauntlet. The guy is, now, like I said, again, anecdotal evidence, which I know is not the best, but he just makes plays. Now, I have the milestone version on my team still, and I would recommend if you are going to use him as a 1, 2, or 3, get the milestone version because it also helps with edge blitzer and pick specialist. But if you were just using him as like a number 4 or 5 corner where chems won't really matter, just spend 10K on him. And what he has not the best speed, not the best man, not the best zone, but very solid at all of those. 77 catching, but I just, like, he makes so many picks. Like, he wins so many jump balls. Maybe because he has 92 jumping. I don't know. I really like this card. And you're thinking, well, Kane his man's, like, everything's just kind of below average. You're right, but he's going, if you put him as, like, your number 4, your number 5 corner, he's not going against, like, number 1, 2, or 3 receivers. He's going after your number 4, number 5 receiver. And those cards, they'll just kind of even out. Like, those are obviously going to go down. They're not going to have unless you're going against a God squad who has Randy Moss as their number 5 corner, you don't have to worry about that. And for 10K for a number 4, number 5 corner, I don't think you can beat that value. I really think that's undervalued. And like I said, I still have him. I've had him since day 1. I milestoned him and then I kept him. Card is just an absolute beast. And like, I don't have any problem moving for number 5. If I have to play quarters defense, I don't have to worry about Joe Haden. I feel like he's good. And if they throw at him and it's close one-on-one coverage, worst case, he bats it down. The guy's just a beast, as you can see. I have him as my number 5. I have Mo Blunt as my number 4. Now, I have that Blunt because I can't sell him, but he's also great against the run. So even if I do play quarters and I got Mo Blunt out there, he's also my backup safety. Guy does lay the boom, as you can see. He's an 89 or an 87 as a safety. So that Mo Blunt's a beast. But there's Joe Haden right there. Guy's an absolute star. I highly recommend him for a number 4, number 5 corner. Like 10K for that, gotta do it. But that's it for the video, guys. Those are 5 defensive backs that I just feel like are completely undervalued. If you guys want to see another position, please let me know in the comments, or any other defensive backs that you think I missed. Doesn't have to be like under a certain price. That just should go for more. I think like the Jenkins, the Haden, the Jalen Ramsey, the Reid, and the Cyprien could all be doubled or even like tripled their price, and I think it wouldn't be a bad buy. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.